I agree with you. And you agree with me that sometimes it is good to kill babies. You and I are on the same page that because of the moral standard of the God of the Bible, it is good sometimes to kill babies. You and I are on the same page with that. So you want to move on to the moral argument now?
Yeah, I mean, where do you get your sense of right and wrong if there's no God?
I would say that I get my morality from your God. That's how I ground it. I just ground it in the idea of your God.
Yeah, my initial question was, where do you get your sense of right and wrong if there is no God?
The Bible God. I just take it, I borrow it from the Bible God.
Aren't you an atheist?
Yeah, but I just borrow it from the Bible God.
Sunday school.
Yeah, I just borrow it from the Bible God, though. That's just because, like, I know I need something to ground my morals in, so I ground my morals in the Bible God.
But still, my initial question is, which is a hypothetical, where do you get your sense of right and wrong if there is no God?
Yeah, I just, like, take it from the Bible God. I just take it from the Bible God.
This world, there is no God.
I know that I couldn't. Okay, so the answer is low life, just so I'm very clear. I know that I couldn't ground my morals objectively or ultimately in anything if there were no God. Therefore, I use your God.
So you concede.
I concede that there would be no objective morality without a God.
So, guys, he just said he uses my morality under my God to view reality.
No, not reality, morality.
To view reality, that's
no.
What you would use
to ground my morality. Why are you changing the phrase?
Regardless, you concede there needs to be a God for
objective morality.
Standard.
Yeah, for an objective standard of morality, there needs to be a God. So I ground my morality in your God.
So why would you call yourself an atheist if you believe in?
I don't believe that the God exists, but I just use the morality of the God. That's why I think that murder is fine, and it's okay to sexually assault women. That's so because I base it on your morality.
What? I'm confused.
No, I'm just saying that I borrow from your morality, so I don't think consent is important, and I think that it's fine to kill babies, and if somebody wanted to own a slave, I'd be okay with it because I base my morality on your God. Do you think that it's wrong to kill babies?
Of course.
I disagree, Joe, because I actually have a God that offers objective morality. So can you prove that it's wrong to kill babies?
Yeah. You're stealing from God to argue against him, if that makes sense.
No, I'm arguing for God right now. So are you going to argue against our God or no?
You're stealing from God to argue against him. For example,
I'm not stealing from God. I believe in the objective moral standard of the Christian God.
I'll back up my claim with an example of how you're stealing from God to argue against him.
Okay.
You're stealing a moral standard to say...
No, I'm claiming a moral standard. That's different than stealing. Have you ever worked on the Sabbath?
I guess I can't.
Well, Lolo, I don't know what... Okay, well, how is it stealing?
You're stealing a moral standard to say childhood cancer or whatever you said is evil, and we all agreed...
I never said that.
Childhood cancer...
I never said that.
Or child getting essayed. What did you say?
I said that it's okay to kill babies because of the moral standard that I subscribe to.
I'm saying we all know it's all wrong. Do you not hear me?
How do you ground that? Where are you grounding your morality?
30 seconds. If you would just give me 30
Go ahead.
Seconds, I'll give you.
I hope it's not going to be your feelings, but go ahead.
I'll reiterate for you since
I think I'm just not getting it.
You're stealing a moral standard to say childhood murder is wrong, even though we all agree it's wrong.
I'm not saying it's wrong.
Here, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Well, you're getting it wrong. I'm not saying it.
30 seconds. Okay. 30 seconds.
This sucks.
We all agree it's wrong.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you.
Okay, I hear you.
So then why are you saying we all agree?
I know it's wrong. Because I know it's wrong.
How?
The people in the chat know.
How do you ground your morality?
But on atheism, If atheism is true, babies getting murdered, what does it matter? We're just overgrown germs anyway. We're just
That's
on
not
a
the point.
spinning
That's
planet,
not the
and we're just going
point.
to become worm food. On atheism here, you can't justify these babies getting murdered.
No, I can
But on
justify it. It
Christianity,
is good to
30
kill
seconds,
babies.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Starting
Because on
when? Starting when?
Atheism, I can't speak. If atheism is true, we're just overgrown germs anyway. What does it matter? We're not going anywhere. We're just going to become worm food.
I
So
agree.
you use this baby argument against God when we all agree.
I'm not.
But atheism has no answer here. Christianity does.
Low life. Are
You're
you
wrong.
What am I actually saying? Because I don't think you're hearing my words. I am not saying that. I am agreeing with you. That's why I do not ground my morality in atheism. Atheism is vapid. There's no morality there. You can't ground your morality in atheism. That's impossible.
Yeah, it's wrong. You would
Yeah,
agree.
so
it's
I
horrible.
ground my morality.
It's a horrible religion. You would agree.
It's not
You
a
can see.
religion. That's why you can't ground morality in it. So I ground my morality in the Bible God. That's why I know it's good to kill babies sometimes.
That makes no sense.
Then what? You don't think it's good to kill babies?
I'm gonna break it up in two worlds.
No, I'm asking you a
just said, I
question.
think it's
I
good
let
to-
you
I think
talk.
it's-
I'm
yes,
asking
I
you a
think it's good to
question.
be- I think
Do
it's
you
good
think it's
to
good to kill
mur-
babies? Do you think it's
Okay,
good to
on
murder
atheism
babies?
here- yeah, on atheism here.
Yes, you think
has
you
no
agree with me. It's
justification
good to
because
kill
we're
babies.
Overgrown germs anyway. What does it
Low
matter?
life, we
We're gonna
already
become
heard
worm
that.
food.
You're arguing against no one. I'm on the
I'm
Christian
arguing
side.
against atheists.
I'm
and atheism.
I
and
am
what they
I
believe in
agree
when
with you.
babies get
We're talking
murdered.
about morality now. So as an atheist,
Yeah,
I don't believe
atheism
there's
here,
a
there's
God.
no true statement. We're just
As
overgrown
as
germs
an
anyway.
atheist, I don't believe there's a God. But we're talking about morality, and you asked me how I ground my morality, and I said in the Bible God, because as an atheist, I need to borrow from another worldview. So I've claimed the worldview of the Christian God.
Where in the Ten Commandments does it say we can murder babies?
The Ten Commandments says thou shalt not murder,
That's
but
the
God's
moral law.
objective
That's
moral
the moral
is
law of the Bible.
yeah, but sometimes he does have
Where
people
is
murder
it?
babies.
Show me where it is. You keep
1
saying
Samuel
it's in there.
15:2. 15:3.
Not where the Ten Commandments are. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's not the
Not-
only. I
wrong
grounded
chapter.
in
Wrong
what the God actually commands and stuff like that.
And
Do you?
I'm trying to back up that claim, so show me where you're getting
Yeah,
it from.
1 Samuel 15:3. 1
Commandments,
Samuel
You're saying it's
15:3.
the moral law in the Bible. The moral laws are stated in the Ten Commandments.
What I was saying is sometimes it's morally good to kill babies because the morally good God tells his people to kill babies sometimes. Do you not think that
True.
follows?
And you're not wrong. Joel, you're not wrong.
Right, that's all.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But if atheism
you
is
agree
true,
with
we're
me?
overgrown germs anyway. What does it matter, Joel?
I
'Cause if
agree.
atheism is
I've
true,
agreed
we're gonna
with
become
that.
worm
Why are you
food,
bringing
and
that back
ultimately
up
nothing
again?
matters.
I
So you're
agree.
stealing from God.
I'm not stealing it. I'm
Yeah,
just
and
saying.
Of course you agree.
Low life, I agree with you. And you agree with me that
Spanked.
sometimes it is
Spanked.
good to kill babies. You and I are on the same page that because of the moral standard of the God of the Bible, it is good sometimes to kill babies. You and I are on the same page with that. I can't get
I just wanna know who's
atheism
gonna justify
isn't
it.
involved here. Atheism isn't involved. It has nothing to do with morality. There's nothing about morality in atheism.
I'm sorry, I thought
There's
it was the
nothing. There's
topic.
no value there. So there's no reason to bring it up. I have claimed the Christian, the Bible God morality, which is that sometimes it's okay to kill babies, right?
And I agree with you, Joel.
There
But
you
on
go.
atheism
So
here, atheism is
both of
true.
us
We're just
agree
overgrown
because we're
germs
both
anyway.
using.
What does
It
it
doesn't
matter? We're just
matter.
going to become worm food. There's no justification.
Life.
There's no ultimate
Why are
meaning to
you
anything.
repeating that?
Because atheism has no meaning towards it behind it. When
I know.
babies get murdered.
Why are you
Christianity does.
Yes, I know. No, Christianity is pro killing babies sometimes.
No.
You just agreed with that 2 seconds
literally
ago.
Nowhere in the Ten Commandments. It literally says the opposite.
I know,
from
but
murder.
we know what the thing is
know,
this.
but you're just
It
gonna
is
go
it
on
is
it.
not murder to kill babies. It's justified.
Yeah, it's a sin.
No, it's justified. Sometimes it's good.
Under who?
Under God. We're
Well,
using
then why are
God's
you
moral
complaining then?
standard.
No, Joel. If it's under God, then why are you complaining?
I'm
You own the
not.
house. The
Low
house you're
life.
sitting
I
in
feel
right
like
now.
you don't
Do you
like
own
it.
it?
I feel like you don't
No,
like it.
Joel, do
You're
you
sitting
own the
there.
house you're
You have a
sitting in right
problem with
now?
it. I think you have a problem
Do
with
you
killing
own the
babies.
house that you're sitting in right now? So you'd be able to set the rules for the house. It's your house, your rules, right?
Yeah.
Then why are you
If
complaining?
a baby comes in here,
when
look
God
out.
made his world, his universe, how he wanted to, and he set the rules towards it.
Right.
Why are you complaining about it? I can't go in your
Yes.
house, break your windows, break your glasses, break
Yeah.
your everything, and not get kicked out, and complain and whine and not
Right.
get kicked out.
Yes.
So when God makes his universe and you're sitting in his house, complaining and whining, breaking his
I'm
glasses,
not.
breaking his
Okay.
cups,
Low life. What was my complaint?
and you're mad
What
that
was
you're
my
about to get kicked
complaint?
out and get
Low life.
spanked,
What was my complaint?
the babies get murdered?
I never
I don't
complained
even.
about that. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. You are arguing against yourself here. I am not complaining. I am following the logic of God's morality. I am claiming the Bible God's morality, and you don't like it. That's your problem.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm sitting
you
in
for
his
some
house,
reason you're trying to say
telling you his rules. You don't like his rules. You're saying his rules say different.
no, I am saying I like them. I am on the side of the Bible God. That's why I can't say that killing babies is wrong, because he tells people to do it. And so I can only assume from the Bible God that sometimes killing babies is fine. I can't ground killing babies equals wrong anywhere in the book. So that's why when I borrow that moral standard, I have to say that killing babies is sometimes fine. And that's what you do too, Low Life. That's why a little bit ago you agreed with me. We're on the same page. I'm not complaining. I'm not pushing back. So neither of us can ground that killing babies is wrong.
I think we all agree it's wrong.
Well, where do you ground that? I ground it. I can't ground it in the Bible.
Feelings,
You're feeling that's subjective, sweetie.
how I feel.
That's subjective, my love. You can't just ground it in how you feel. That's just subjective morality. We hate that. We want an objective standard, which is the Bible God, and that's why we can't ground killing babies is wrong.
But God would never tell you to kill babies.
He has. He has done it.
That's your own free will.
No, that's him in a
If
book.
God wasn't real, people would still murder babies.
Low life, he does it. He says you should go kill babies. He commands it, my friend. So yeah, he would. He does. He has.
So then why isn't like majority of America being Christian, not murdering a bunch of babies?
They go against God. They have morality despite what God says. I don't know where they're grounding their morality. It's not in God. That's what I do. That's why I'm totally cool with babies being
all
killed.
the Christians aren't following the Bible correctly.
No, they don't have to kill babies to be Christians. But I'm saying that they can't say that killing babies is always wrong and objectively morally wrong, because God commands it in the Bible. So if we're going to ground our morality with that God, then we can't say stuff like killing babies is always wrong. That would be just your subjective opinion, which, other people have subjective opinions. I, on the other hand, side with an objective moral standard, which would be the God of the Bible's moral standard.
It's a very compelling question if God told me to murder babies, especially coming from a skeptic that presumes that there is no God and is trying to make Christians look like a wacko.
Thank you. And I think I was successful, right? Everybody loves what I did there. And I think you see it too. That when I take on your moral standard, I still can't ground the things I want to ground. You just ground them in your feelings, because that's genuinely what we have. And the moral standard of the God of the Bible is vapid. It's a failure. It's horrible. So we can't really use that. What you use and what I use, what we all use on this planet right now, is subjective morality. We go by our empathy and our feelings. So just don't use the moral argument, because it's an absolute failure, okay?
Okay.
But it was good talking to you. I feel like I spanked you a little bit, Low Life. I don't think you should want to continue this, because you're just going to look silly.
I think I spanked you a little bit too.
No, you did not spank me at all. You didn't even get a whiff of cheek. You swung. Oh baby, you swung, but you did not hit me at all.